dummy. Yeah. I say dummy.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Wrestling for Dummies. Yeah.
What's good with you, man? What is good with you?
Yeah, today we are talking about the biggest what ifs? No, not what ifs.
Yeah, what if
Yeah.
for the world championship? People who should have
been world champion.
Yeah.
And
not counting anybody who's been world champion, but not like a significant reign or anything. Just people who have not.
Yeah. I think the first one's easy. Alex Riley. Alex Riley should have been a world champion.
Are you being serious?
Nah, no. I was a big Alex Riley fan though when I was 11.
I used to confuse Alex Riley and Zack Ryder so much.
What?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Shoot. I used to confuse Edge and Triple H, but this is when this is like my first day of watching wrestling, like my very first day.
Triple H is gigantic.
Yo, they were just two blonde guys. I was like, yo,
Edge is like pretty.
Bro, this is my first day on the job, bro. First day on the job. But real first one.
Whoa, what's going on? You want me to start?
I was gonna, yeah, you can go.
All right, this is just so obvious. I don't know why. I mean, I know why it didn't work out for her, but the fact that Mandy Rose might never become WWE Women's Champion or WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion is absurd. Mandy Rose in NXT had charisma. She had the look, everything. And I know she obviously got fired because, do you remember what the site was called or whatever?
Yeah, I don't remember.
She was
using
like
a fan site.
Yeah, she was posting photos that they didn't like on some fan site. They need to get over that. They need to get over it. No disrespect to Paige or nothing like that.
Whoa! Why we gotta?
No, I'm saying bigger things have happened here.
Yo,
so it's not a company.
She's probably like trying to get past that, and she's hearing this like,
no, I'm honestly, I'm not even trying to take shots at Paige. I'm saying,
no, facts.
Saying that if they're worried about a company image perspective, like she can't be doing that, and being aligned with the company. Stuff like that. Pages, China, other things have happened here.
Yeah.
Not to judge anyone, but other things have happened. There's been bigger, image problems around WWE. They have somebody who murdered somebody, and Vince McMahon covered it up. So I don't think Mandy Rose's pictures is like the end of the world. They need to rehire her and give her a championship run ASAP. Mandy Rose has it.
I forget if Mandy Rose is how she is in the ring or not.
She's pretty solid in the ring.
She's pretty solid.
But she's very charismatic.
Yeah, for sure.
She has the character work. She was I think at one point the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion.
Something like that. Alright. I wasn't expecting you to say Mandy Rose, I can't lie.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
Told you, I'm out of the box, man.
Let's be honest. We just started talking about this man, Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Easy should have been world champion. Samoa Joe was too good. He was great in the ring, great on the mic.
The Samoa Joe part so much.
What you mean?
I don't think he should be on this list as like most egregious. To me, these are egregious.
Samoa Joe's egregious,
but Samoa Joe was pretty old when he came.
It doesn't matter. He's Samoa Joe.
Yeah, but now
how I feel like Samoa Joe.
I wouldn't have won the answer, but now I feel like it's not egregious if he's not ever world champion.
Samoa Joe is one of like the outside WWE is like one of the leading men in the 2000s, like one of the best in the world type shit. If you ask me, vicious monster, like
wow,
Samoa Joseph, but
a violent nation.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Samoa Joe, especially because I knew him from CNA. Great work, great wrestler, of course. And I would have accepted him being world champion. Of course, he has the in-ring skill. He has the character work.
It's too good. It's too good.
It's a shame. I think the bigger shame for Samoa Joe and other superstars like that is that they spent too much time in TNA. And, their WWE careers weren't as long as they could have been or should have been. All right. Next one's for me is really one. I do think this will happen, but if it doesn't, Triple H will be the biggest fool in the world. Sami Zayn
Facts.
needs to be world champion by
Facts.
2026, the latest.
By tomorrow.
So when Sami Zayn wins the world championship, that will be the biggest pop
Yeah,
ever.
they have something there.
That's not going to be a little pop. The roof will be blown off the building. And I do think, honestly, if I had to rank it, I think it's a 80 to 90% chance that Sami Zayn becomes world champion.
Yeah, got
I'm
to.
very confident
Got to.
Sami Zayn becomes world champion.
They saw what they did with the Intercontinental Championship earlier this year. That's like a
I actually do think
prelude to
I do
world
think
title.
Sami Zayn would have become world champion at WrestleMania. I think that would have been the original plan because when they were dropping all the promos where he's saying he's no longer he's he's a champion, he's good enough to be world champion. It was I think that would have been the match, but all that stuff broke down with The Rock.
Yeah.
Got trickled down to everything else. So Sami Zayn had to get pushed down to the card a little bit, and he faced Gunther. A great spot, great match,
Yeah, for sure.
and great moment. But Sami Zayn needs to become world champion. He has everything. He has every ability. Great in ring work. Sami Zayn has had
Incredible.
out of WrestleMania 39 was one of the best WrestleMania of all time. But of course, the main event of night 2 was great. But somebody who says the main event of night 1 was the best match of that show, that wouldn't have been a crazy statement.
The tag match for
Yeah,
that,
the
huh?
tag match was insane. It was
great.
amazingly good.
Sami Zayn's forever has been one of the best wrestlers in the world to me. Like when I used to watch NXT back in like 2014, back when he was the underdog, from the underground, I always said, even at that age, I was like, yeah, he's like the NXT Daniel Bryan. Like he's like the guy to cheer for, the underdog.
Yeah.
And in that ring, his matches.
Yeah, he's had on the main roster right now. He's had some excellent.
Yeah,
He's
these
got
last
to be with
couple of
Roman
years,
at Elimination Chamber.
he's coming back into form after years of not doing shit.
He's had amazing matches.
Very easy to cheer for, to root for.
So yeah, I think Sami Zayn is definitely he's one of the people that needs to be world champion in his lifetime.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. What do you got?
This isn't. This is more of like he should have, not like he should. Still, Shinsuke Nakamura
Oh wow.
should have been a world champion at least one time.
Yeah, I actually do think it's not even because he should now. I just think it's too late for him.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So I don't think
it is what it is. But when he came in with so much prestige.
Yeah, he did.
From New Japan, and then in NXT, his match with Sami Zayn, his debut match, is one of my favorite matches in wrestling history. Like, it's just a favorite of mine. It's an easy watch. I can turn it on right now and it's like a comfort match. And for him to win the Royal Rumble, which was expected to go on to face AJ, and then to lose to AJ, turn the heel, hit him in the dick, and then to keep hitting him in the dick for 4 months and hitting each other, it was just, what are y'all doing, And now he is where he is. Like, he's had his little, resurgence to be LNF United States title. People like his presentation. Very happy for that. I love that. He had the stuff with Seth last year, which was cool. He still lost, but it was a prominent role. But we'll probably never get back to the heights of 2016 and 2018. And then that's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah. Now the next one for me is a personal favorite. People don't know this, but I used to be
Here we go.
big into TNA. And every time this guy came out, I remember one time he dropped a promo and I really loved it. And he became TNA World Heavyweight Champion, but I thought this guy had everything in order to become World Champion. And this guy is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Mr. Anderson. Mr. Kennedy. I think Mr. Kennedy had the character work to become world champion. I think he had the swagger, he had the walk. He was the I can't swear on here, but he was an a-hole.
You can't swear? I've been swearing.
You too. I'm trying not to. he was an a-hole. He had a great gimmick. I think he could have been seriously world champion. I think he could have, because you got to think about some of the people who've been world champion, right? Jinder Mahal was world champion for 7 months. Mr. Kennedy has way more charisma than Jinder Mahal ever had.
That
Way
much I
more.
can say. Yeah.
It's not even comparable. Jinder Mahal, when he was the modern day Raja or whatever you call it, the modern day Maharajah or whatever.
Maserati.
He was extremely boring. That was one of the most boring championship reigns in history. And a guy like Mr. Anderson or Mr. Kennedy, whatever you call him, the fact that they did him the way they did, I think is a real travesty. I think, they should have given him a chance when he had the opportunity. He's somebody who I think when I was watching TNA, I was like, man, he's really entertaining. He connected with the fans. He had the in-ring work. He had the character work. Mr. Anderson just had that swagger to him. Like, when somebody just comes into a room, you could just feel them. It's like the LA Knight type of thing.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, he just had a swagger to him. He just wasn't one of like a regular guy. He was cool.
Yeah.
And I really think, up until this day that he could have been world champion. Yeah.
I do have to admit that I don't think as strongly as most people about Mr. Kennedy, but I think it's just because like I didn't pay attention that much to him. Or, like I didn't watch TNA, you know that, and I wasn't watching WWE prominently when he was in WWE. I would just hear things from my cousin. Now see him sometimes, but I didn't think like, oh yeah, he got to be the next WWE champion. But I think like I said, it's just a lack of paying attention for me.
Yeah, he had a.
But I like him though. I like him.
Yeah, he was. I don't know. He was just like a slick talker. He was really funny. He just had charisma.
Yeah, the mic coming down too was dope.
Yeah.
Didn't Randy Orton end his WWE career?
Edge.
Edge?
Yeah, wasn't it Edge? He was supposed to, because Edge took the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but why? I'm talking about real, like not kayfabe.
Oh,
like shoot.
I don't.
Because
I can't remember now.
Wasn't it something? Remember that match where they all had the basketball jerseys on? Wasn't it something from that match?
Oh yeah, I think
Randy?
I can't remember the details of it now.
Yeah, Randy Orton is such a demon. Orton is such a demon.
Yeah.
He was about to be Vince's illegitimate son, right?
Yeah.
And win the WWE Championship. Wow. Yo, some people were really so close. Some people were really so close and got fucked. RVD's one of them. RVD he was WWE champion, but then he got caught smoking weed. The next person on this list for me is in the same boat. William Regal. I think very highly of William Regal.
Me too.
I think he should have got a better shake. I think he should have. And he almost was. He won King of the Ring. What was that, 2009, 2010?
Yeah.
And they were going to make him WWE champion. And he lost. He didn't pass the wellness test or some shit like that.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah. He was about to be WWE champion in 2010.
I didn't even know this. Wow.
But I think the world of William Regal, I think he's one of the most underrated wrestlers ever. And I would have loved to see him as WWE champion or even specifically world heavyweight champion. I think he would have been a great world heavyweight champion. But, yeah.
All right, I got my next guy is somebody who I just can't even believe that he was never WWE champion or world champion or nothing like that. I mean, it's really because the same thing for Mr. Anderson. But Razor Ramon,
yeah.
RIP to
we can get into the real ones now. Yeah, good. Razor Ramon, yeah.
Yeah. He you don't like when I look at Razor Ramon, he was a slick talking bad boy.
Yeah.
He had the perfect gimmick to be world champion. Razor Ramon, he had a great career. He was part of NWO. Obviously, the Intercontinental Championship run. His match with Shawn Michaels. Yeah. He has a great wrestling legacy. Yeah. But I think
for sure
his wrestling legacy could have been greater. Because when you think of the greatest wrestlers of all time, top 50, I think Razor Ramon's on most people's list.
Yeah,
he's in the low 50s and 40s, but he's on most people's list.
Love Razor,
but I think he could have been in a position where I just don't understand why. Because his gimmick works so well in the 90s too.
Yeah.
He's
it's one of those ones.
He's a strong man, bad boy.
Diesel got it. Diesel,
and he's way more charismatic than Diesel.
No offense to Kevin Nash,
Yeah,
but I think if I was like a child and I'm seeing Big Daddy Cool Diesel or Razor Ramon, I'm gravitating more towards Razor Ramon.
Exactly. But I don't know what Vince was thinking, but he chose Diesel. He chose Kevin Nash,
Yeah.
and Kevin Nash's reign sucked. Completely sucked. So wrong choice, Vince.
but yeah,
Alright.
that's fair. Yeah, so I think that there's a lot of people, or there's like a good few, and I've always thought this since I was a kid. There's a few, like, and I thought about him the other day. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, easily should have been WWE champion. Easily should have been. I feel like the character itself, the gimmick, and the in-ring prowess, like this is a world champion right here. Like I always thought that, and it always surprised me that him and a couple others in his era weren't world champions. It was one of those things where I was just like, oh, okay, I guess, you know. But yeah, definitely Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been too upset. I'm trying to name people who I think Mandy Rose, Razor Ramon, Mr. Anderson. I'm not naming people who I think are just like charismatic figures, who had the persona.
Mr.
too.
Perfect charismatic. Bro, he used to have the promos
He
where
was cool.
Mr.
I
You
like
know how I
Mr.
say I
Perfect.
can't lose?
Yeah,
Mr. Perfect actually was that. Like he would do the the promos where he'd shoot the basketball with his eyes closed or whatever, and he's make it like you're telling me this man didn't win the WWE championship? What are we talking about? One of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time, for sure. But yeah,
All right. My next one is what's his name? Jerry the King Lawler. Not playing. I'm playing with you.
Do I?
My next one's Wade
disagree with
Barrett.
that? Oh, Wade Barrett?
NXT leader Wade Barrett. He should have beat Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
You think Nexus Wade Barrett? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Late 2010ish.
Uh-huh.
When Nexus was really in their prime,
Yeah.
really in their prime. Wade Barrett was that guy, and I remember even when I watched NXT at the time, when the season that he had won,
Yeah.
I was like, clearly Wade Barrett's that
guy.
He had a
Yeah.
broken nose, and I thought it looked completely badass, especially because he had said he came from like a bare knuckle fight or whatever. It sounded,
Yeah, the bare knuckle
yeah.
brawl.
He had the look. He had the in ring work. Wade Barrett. He had the character work. He had a whole faction behind him of super loyal guys who beat the bricks off of everybody. So he had a story with him. He could have held the WWE Championship hostage. And at the time, it was Randy Orton. No disrespect to Randy Orton, but
he could have afforded.
yeah, Randy Orton
Yeah.
didn't need the run,
Yeah.
especially because you got to consider what they did with it. They just had him lose it to the Miz,
Yeah.
and go on feud with CM Punk.
Yeah.
Why not have Nexus Day Championship storyline heading into WrestleMania 27? It fucking sucked anyway, so it's not like we're losing too much. It could have been Wade Barrett versus somebody else for the Day Championship.
Yeah.
I think Wade Barrett, it's a shame what happened, and Wade Barrett, he had a pretty decent WWE career. He became IC champion 4 or 5 times. Okay, 5 times. Yeah, he became King of the Ring. He had a gimmick that was really popular a couple years later.
I used to hate that King
So
of
he
Ring.
had a pretty good
Yeah, the Bad News Bears stuff was over.
yeah. So he had a pretty good run, but
Yeah.
I think his career would have been a lot better. He could have benefited a lot more
Yeah.
if he had won the WWE Championship
Yeah, facts.
against Randy Orton. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I used to think that he was somebody who should have been. I haven't thought about it in a while, but I used to think that when I was a kid, he could have been a world champion. I love this man, Roddy Piper.
I was gonna say Roddy.
Yeah. Roddy Piper should have been world champion. Roddy Piper, to me, has been one of the greatest heels of all time for me. Most of my time as a wrestling fan, he was actually the greatest heel of all time to me. Great foil to Hulk Hogan at the time. It shouldn't have been even a question for him to be world champion. I just think it was a time where he was. I don't think he was as as big as like Hogan, like physically, and like those guys,
Yeah.
Warrior and stuff. And I feel like Vince was focused on them more, anyways. But one of the biggest crimes is that Roddy Piper wasn't a world champion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Roddy Piper was actually on my list too. Yeah, I think they gave a reason one time. Something. why Roddy wasn't world champion. I forgot what it was, but whatever reason it was, it would have been stupid.
Yeah, facts. I gotta look that up.
Because Roddy Piper was, he's everybody's inspiration. He's CM Punk. Even when Ronda Rousey was here, she was
right.
It was
Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Hard to say, but yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the fact that he was never world champion, it's just like, what are you guys doing?
Seriously.
Sometimes when you have magic, you have to make it work. You can't just play around with it.
And you could have had him you could have had Hogan beat him for the title at some point. Like, he was just a really good foil. He was a really good guy to hate. I think people, back in the day, I think people have stabbed Roddy Piper because they hated him so much.
I think they were threatening to stab him.
No, I think a fan legitimately stabbed him one time.
That's fucking
crazy. You're telling me I'm gonna get stabbed for this business? You're not gonna give me the world title? What are we talking about here, y'all? Oh man.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Facts.
All right. I have two more. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This one, just because I really liked his character work too, and he felt like a big deal in NXT.
Yeah.
I'm not say Velveteen Dream.
Hey, now you're talking my language.
And I understand that the controversy surrounding him,
of course,
but I think the fact that it all came crashing down, like that is pretty sad. I think he could have been a great character in WWE. I think he could have been a great superstar.
For sure.
Velveteen Dream had a lot of charisma.
Man.
And he was amazing in the ring. He was really great. He was athletic. He knew how to sell really good. He knew how to do everything. He had a great move sets.
What could have been,
Yeah, what could have been with Velveteen Dream?
That's a big one for me.
But I guess, of course, what translated,
what
happened with all that stuff that happened.
It's a shame. It's a huge
it's a
shame. I remember when, first started hearing about all the controversy, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was so looking forward to him on the main roster in his career. Because, I was watching Tough Enough every week in 2015, and Patrick Clark was on there. And I wanted him to take the whole thing. I wanted him to win before he got eliminated. He was, clearly the best, at least definitely one of the best on that show. And then he ended up still getting signed and was in NXT as Patrick Clark. I think first he started out with wearing the American flag tights, a couple matches, and then he came out as Patrick Clark, but in the early Velveteen Dream shit. And at first I was like, all right, what the fuck is this? They just massacre my guy. But then what changed my mind was his program with Aleister Black in 2017. There was a whole Say My Name. That was amazing.
Aleister Black was somebody who could have been on the list too.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not too late for him, no. Yeah, I'd hope one day he can still be a world champion in WWE. Or in general, to be honest, he should have been on that level in AEW. But yeah, Velveteen Dream for sure. He was the gimmick was it was great. Yeah. It was great. He was a great North American champion. But yeah, the Velveteen Dream's a good one.
It's on you.
I'm gonna put these two guys in one. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen it before. And it might still be possible. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa should be world champions. I'm so dead serious. One of the greatest feuds in all of wrestling history is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
What do you know about Johnny
NXT.
Gargano?
No. You're not gonna disrespect me. That's not what you're gonna do today.
What do you know?
No. I was there every Wednesday, 8:00. NXT Black and Gold. NXT was an hour. NXT was 1 hour every week. I was there watching live the main event of NXT TakeOver. The fucking sign comes up in the corner, and you think the show's about to go off, the camera's about to cut, and Tommaso turns heel on Johnny, completely fucks him up. I was blown away. Tommaso Ciampa was such a great heel after that. They had great matches. He spit on Johnny's ring and threw it at him or whatever. He won the NXT championship. He was such a great heel that when WWE 2K19 came out, this is real. When WWE 2K19 came out, the video game, he refused to be in the game. He legitimately was not in that game that year. He refused to be in the game because he thought it wasn't realistic for anyone to beat him. Like, that's actually real. Yeah, I could not use, and he was on fire this time. I couldn't even use him in the game. Crazy.
Do you think that's the actual reason?
Yeah, this is actually a thing. I swear on my life, yo. You can look it up.
Maybe that's the reason he gave, but I don't think that's the reason. I don't think WWE.
What else? What else would the reason be for your NXT champion to not be in your current video game? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you. So yeah, and Johnny Gargano too. Johnny Gargano has big Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan vibes. Big Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan vibes. At least he did in NXT. And I think they could still do something like that with him. And in the ring, Johnny and Tommaso are just phenomenal. And I hope one day they do become world champion. After what I've seen in NXT, they deserve it.
All right.
They deserve it.
All right, so there's a couple of people I would actually want to give an honorable mention to.
Who?
Because they're not going to be on my list. And the last one is really just a personal one.
Mm-hmm.
But Cesaro is one of them.
Oh man, yeah. Claudio.
Shelton Benjamin's one of them.
Shelton, yeah.
Matt Riddle is one of them.
Yeah. Yep.
These are people who I think could have been world champion
I agree.
A different, maybe what you might not agree with this EC3.
No, I agree.
Ethan Carter.
I agree. Yeah, he completely. Remember when he was Derek Babin?
No, yeah. Did you watch him on TNA?
I didn't I didn't watch TNA, but I seen when people went to TNA and they were popping off, I couldn't stop hearing about them. I couldn't stop hearing about EC3.
Yeah.
And I would see some things every once in a while. So I agree. I had high hopes when he came back to NXT, but he didn't do shit in NXT. He didn't do shit in the main roster.
Bully Ray also.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, that's fair.
People don't even call him Bully Ray. I'm so used to it.
Yeah, Bubba.
Bubba Ray. My fault.
Yeah.
I call him Bully Ray.
Yeah.
He's the TNA
right.
thing. But
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All these people I think could have been great world champions.
Yeah, facts.
Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Keith Lee.
Oh man, Keith fucking Lee.
Yeah.
Yo.
All these people. Okay. The last one I'm gonna choose because I watched his reign in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the best TNA, and not only that, he was one of the best TNA world champions, but he was also in a hall. Like, if there's a wrestling Hall of Fame,
yeah,
this team needs to be inducted into it. Beer Money.
I knew you were about to say that.
With James, yes, sir, Bobby Roode, the It Factor.
For sure.
He held the TNA championship, if I'm not mistaken, for 290 days.
Yeah.
He has everything. He came on the gold robe. Well, it wasn't always gold, but he came on the robes. He had a gimmick. He has the It Factor. Bobby Roode. When he got signed to WWE, I thought he was going to be a main event type of player.
Seriously.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Their first mistake was bringing him to the main roster and having him be a babyface.
Yeah,
immediately.
But
he was like a white meat babyface. Like he had the glorious thing. That was it. They turned it into like a super.
Yeah, the only thing that could have really saved them is maybe I thought at a certain point maybe they could bring James Storm in. Oh, you should have seen when he turned on James Storm. You should have seen when he turned on James Storm.
James Storm was actually in NXT once or twice.
Really?
He just didn't sign, but he had a couple matches.
Really, I didn't even know that.
Matches.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Beer Money was one of the greatest tag teams of all time. I'm gonna stand by that to this day.
That's fair.
And I think because I was such a big fan of Beer Money, I thought I had really high expectations for Bobby Roode. Really high.
Me too. They brought him in,
and he didn't even come close.
Was the guy. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura immediately for the NXT title.
Yeah,
and he was there was a time where he was like shit talking Roderick Strong, and he was talking shit about his wife and his kid. And his wife and his kid was in front of him or something like that. It was nuts, bro. Bobby Roode, NXT heel Bobby Roode. is I had major hopes for Bobby Roode. Now that's one of mine too. I agree. Some of my real quick, just my other honorable mentions are, just because they were like this group of people, like the Mr. Perfects and the Roddy Pipers, they were just so wildly popular at the time. I just would have thought, especially coming into wrestling, being a fan, I was like, oh, these guys weren't world champion. I was surprised. Like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Mm.
Nah, super. He was popular.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't know he was a murderer. You know?
Okay.
We thought he was just a really popular wrestler. You know, first ever, like, not first ever high flyer, but like, you know,
Yeah.
Jake the Snake Roberts,
Yeah, definitely.
great heel. Definitely someone who should have been a world champion. And I didn't think this when I was a kid, or like I kind of thought it'd been like a kid way, but now like I think very differently. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, but not Polka Dot, you know, Dream.
Is he the person you're saying?
Yeah. He's the
Oh,
person I'm
wow.
saying. Not Polka Dot Dusty Rhodes. I'm talking about if Vince brought Dusty on and kept him how he was, you know, in NWA and whatever, when he was, you know, feuding with Flair, the Common Man, Hard Times promos, yeah, all that. If they kept that, I definitely would have seen him as a world champion.
What was his phrase again? From
His phrase,
yeah, he has a phrase.
Was it the Any Man with? Is that his? Am I bugging?
I remember parts of it is like eating pork and beans something.
I don't remember.
I would have to look it up.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
But he had like a phrase.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like there's some I'm missing.
Dining with kings and queens. You don't remember that?
I'm like, I don't remember the whole thing.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are some dope people. Yeah.
I feel like Cesaro. I agree with you 100%. Cesaro.
I think there's a whole bunch of others, but those are the ones that really are egregious to me. You know, that really stick out. And the only person I put on the list who still has a chance is Sami Zayn. Really,
Yeah,
the only
facts.
person.
Facts.
Bobby Roode's retired. He's just
Facts,
producing.
facts.
Everybody else is done. Like MVP, I think you would give him a chance.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin,
Yeah,
he's a really big one. Cesaro, but I kind of do understand what Vince was saying, but Cesaro's boring.
I know. I
don't
get
disagree with that 100%.
it. I just think they could have done something.
Yeah,
I know Cesaro's not
because
the best
Cesaro has
talker.
he has the in ring ability.
It's not even that he has the in ring ability. Cesaro is generally one of the best in ring wrestlers I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's true. That's
like,
true.
Claudio Castagnoli can fucking wrestle.
But I don't know if he had one of the best gimmicks to have been. So I kind of understand.
Yeah, but they should. I'm thinking they should have gave him something.
Yeah, I think you could have. If you could work with Jinder Mahal, you could work with.
Yeah,
Cesaro.
like he was too good.
No.
He was too good. You could have had him be something.
Yeah. So
Come
yeah.
on.
Those are all the people we think, you know, it's egregious that they've never been world champion and will never be world
I feel like
champion.
there's more I'm not hearing. Let us know if we missed anybody. And if I missed anybody egregious, we'll make it a part 2.
Yeah, I don't think we missed anybody.
They got it. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I don't know who.
I think because there's been so many.
There have been so many.
What's her name again? That girl who she was in TNA. You know, she was but she got pregnant when she came to WWE.
Oh, you talking about Awesome Kong?
Yeah, Austin Khan should have been world champion.
Yeah,
too.
when she was Karma,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, she's about to be Divas champion in
Yeah.
2.5 seconds. Yeah, facts. Oh, this is not one that people think about often. I think about it all the time.
Who?
Tegan Knox.
Tegan Knox.
I'm a big Tegan Knox fan. 2019 made me a big Tegan Knox fan. Her
I
work
think
in
Emma had the real potential too.
Emma.
Yeah.
Emma did have real potential,
I think Emma had
especially
real-
when she was heel, and
Yeah.
not the Bubbles, Santina Marilla early stuff, like real Emma.
Yeah. She had real potential.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of,
she had grabs. She had grabs.
I'm trying to think of who. I said Riddle. I think Riddle had some world championship potential.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Maybe Rusev too. I don't think it's egregious.
Yeah, but he could have been though.
Yeah.
He could have definitely had a better career than he
Yeah.
had
He could have
easily.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it? I want to really think.
Yeah.
Like, is that it?
We probably have more, but yeah.
What do you think about R-Truth?
R-Truth.
Well, it was like 2011.
I think
2011 R-Truth.
2011 R-Truth.
Yeah. Because R-Truth really is talented in the ring.
See, here's the thing, right? Once you job for so long,
Yeah,
it's just
it's too late
hard.
now.
Yeah, it's like too. Yeah, this
It's
is
too
what's
late
the
now.
issue with Shinsuke Nakamura. Like once you job for so long, it's really hard to think
Yeah, facts.
if he was a world champion. You know?
But him now is like he was funny back in 2011, but now he's just all comedy. In 2011, he was serious.
Yeah.
He was serious.
And the thing is, I'm trying to picture R-Truth. Like he's just been jobbing so long. It's like hard
Yeah.
for me to put him
I feel you.
in a serious.
I feel you.
But when he was Ron the Truth Killings,
Yeah.
I think that's a gimmick that could have worked. Yeah,
He is a former NWA world champion.
yeah, Ron the Truth Killings.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Diamond.
Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels. Yeah.
Christopher Daniels.
If
For sure.
if they
If he
even
had ever
made
came
him, yeah,
to WWE, he would have been.
If the what's it called gimmick would have worked out, the higher power.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Um,
Diamond Dallas Page,
Yeah.
because Diamond Dallas Page was a huge deal in WCW, but they brought him on as the Undertaker's wife's stalker, which is horrible. Diamond Dallas Page is low key one of the biggest baby faces in wrestling history. And they just said, "Fuck it."
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. So yeah, let us know if we missed anybody.
Yes,
egregious,
please.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
the biggest. What could have been with the world champions. You know,
yeah.
who could have been world champion. You know, some of these people still have an opportunity.
Some.
It's very unlikely.
It's very
I think Sami
unlikely,
Zayn is the
but
only realistic one we listed.
Yeah, facts.
Like Shawn Benjamin, no.
Yeah.
You know, Bobby Roode, of course not. But yeah,
The thing with a lot of those people too is like the feeling.
yeah.
Like I feel like
Shinsuke,
if they wanted
yeah.
to, they could do it with Shinsuke, but the feeling would
Yeah,
just
that's
be.
what I'm saying with
It
the
would not
jobbing
be
thing.
the same.
If
Yeah.
you jobbed for so long, it's hard
Yeah.
for people to take you seriously.
I think
That's why momentum's so important in
Yeah,
wrestling.
literally,
It's like you need momentum. You need to
Literally.
be taken seriously as a champion.
facts.
Because if you have a belt and nobody takes you seriously, it's like, what
Facts.
are we doing here? You know?
I even feel like if Shinsuke was champion, like it would be cool. It just would not be the fucking fire that it would have been. all
I
years
just don't
ago.
think enough people would take him seriously. I think casuals would be like, "What? Yeah, isn't he like a loser?" Or whatever. You know, they wouldn't know what Shinsuke's really about. They'd be like, they just see him lose all the time.
Yeah, facts.
So I think that's why it's so important. Like somebody with no momentum, who hasn't been winning, who's not been on TV. I mean, until recently. But Shinsuke at one point he had a 1-39 record.
Wow.
You know, so it's like I think it's way too late for him.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, we'll see you guys next episode. Okay, like, comment, and subscribe
Yeah. Let us know.
for more truth telling from yours truly.
Yeah.